Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Hall Stadium and VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County football. I'm Roger Smith, ready to bring you the homecoming game for the Marshall Buffs, one of the state-ranked teams in Class 5A Division II, taking on their crosstown rivals here in Missouri City, the Willow Ridge Eagles. Glad to bring this one to you, and we will bring you the countdown to kickoff show momentarily with visits from both head coaches. And we know that you're going to enjoy it because I asked them a couple of off-the-wall questions. That's what happens when you get down near the end of the school year and you start to run out of things that you have not asked them before. VypeFortBend.com broadcasts of Fort Bend County High School sports are brought to you by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the fall. First Tire and Automotive has 4 great locations: First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and also Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. All of those locations open Monday through Saturday. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. By Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. At Nick's Italian Restaurant, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By Archer Volkswagen on the southbound side of Highway 59, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. Open since 1956 and ready to serve you. You'll feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By the Needville Insurance Agency. Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. Yeah, Flo is funny and the gecko's cute. They won't necessarily have the best rate for you, although I am now a progressive customer through Bradley Stavanaugh and the Needville Insurance Agency. You see, he has all these carriers, and he can figure out what company gives you the best rate. And that's why you need to call the Needville Insurance Agency at 979-793-7411. Or if you don't want to call, all you have to do is visit needvilleinsurance.com. You don't have to go there. Bradley will take care of everything for you. And we're also brought to you by Office Depot in Sugar Land, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, taking care of business every day so VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. We will step aside real quickly here and come back with Ramon Chin Young, head coach of the Willow Ridge Eagles, when we continue on the Countdown to Kickoff show on VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Good Friday night to you. Welcome to Hall Stadium, and it's getting to be pretty important because it's week 8 of the high school football season, and the Willow Ridge Eagles have a great chance here to knock off the Marshall Buffs. And now it's time for our visit with Ramon Chin Young, the Eagles head coach. And I'm going to ask an off-the-wall question, maybe just kind of an icebreaker here. I watch football at all levels. I see these guys, I know they're playing in some tough conditions. Usually it's very hot until it gets later in the year. They drink the water or the Gatorade and they spit it out. Why? Don't they need to hydrate themselves? Isn't that a problem when they spit out that which they need to hydrate?
It's just a feel. A lot of the kids actually, of course they need to be hydrated at all times, but a lot of kids at that time don't need to be hydrated. It's just a nice little feel to, rinse your mouth out and then, be ready to rock and roll. A lot of what we do is yell and we encourage and we war cry. And so a lot of the kids aren't used to yelling all the time, and so it allows them to just be able to project to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and I am familiar with cotton mouth. I mean, it's a horrible thing, and you do want to rinse it out for sure, but I think maybe 2 swallows for every 1 spit, maybe,
sir.
perhaps.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk about what it's like at your school this week. I know it's got to be a week of enthusiasm. Your team has to feel like they've had as good a chance as they've had in a long time to really give Marshall a game and take this into the 4th quarter and get the win. So what's it been like at your school?
It's been positive atmosphere, positive spirit, just from the administrators, the teachers, the students on campus. A lot of support, a lot of positivity. The kids have been really feeding off of that and just really feeling the family-like atmosphere. So they believe that they can shock the world. They believe they can accomplish something special. But most importantly, they know that our biggest focus is just to get better.
If 1 or 2 keys to the game would be essential to getting the win, what would those be?
The first key is to play together, and the second key is to eliminate penalties.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time, and we'll be with you again. And looking forward to that last game against Galena Park.
Yes,
it could be huge as far as playoff seeding and so forth. So we'll see you then, if not sooner.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. That is Ramon Chin Young, and this has been the countdown. Well, it's not. We got this half of the countdown to kickoff show.
Yeah.
We got Coach Williams. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Take a moment to thank the coaches.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show on VypeFortBend.com. We're at Hall Stadium. It'll be the Buffs against the Eagles tonight on VypeFortBend.com. And here to introduce himself and the rest of our officiating crew is our referee.
My name is Chris Jackson. I'm the referee. Our umpire is Jacob Williams. Our head linesman tonight is Byron Jackson. Our line judge is Alton Dunbar. Our field judge is Jason Caesar. Our side judge is Jimmy King, and our back judge is John Trammell.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jackson. It'll be easy for me to remember your name because Marshall had an outstanding safety by the name of Chris Jackson. So I will not forget him, and therefore I will not forget you. Have a good game tonight.
Thank you very much, sir.
We'll be right back with James Williams, head coach of the Buffs, when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or NeedvilleInsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show on Vype. Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show, and James Williams, the head coach of the Marshall Buffs, as gracious as always to spend a couple of minutes with us. And Coach, has been a long time since I played high school football or was at a high school on a game day. Do they still have pep rallies at most schools? Do they have one at Marshall for an occasion like this? How does that work now?
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for covering us again, as always. Yes, this is our homecoming game. This has been our homecoming week, and we had a pep rally this afternoon. Yes, sir.
Do you have some players on the team who are nominees for the King, or just one? How does that work also?
That's a good question, because I have no idea. You know, we're focused on the game. So, you know, the homecoming, we always say, is for the student body, you know, for the school, but these guys are focused on the game, and so I really couldn't answer that question.
All right. Well, I'm actually I respect hearing that, because really all that matters to you as the head coach is the outcome, the way your team plays. And if it's a great party for the people in the stands and the alums, that's great. But as long as you win the game and fulfill the expectations, I guess everybody that matters to you is going to be happy, which is you and your players and your staff.
Absolutely. We want our team to play the way we play a good game today, do what we do as a Marshall football in-block team and program, play physical football, be explosive. And then the guys in the stands, for coming back from homecoming and enjoying the game, they can enjoy the game and enjoy, hopefully, victory.
Are you pretty happy with your team's health? I mean, you sometimes can have the opportunity to have someone take a week off if you think it's necessary to nurse something back to health, but how are you doing overall?
Overall, we're doing well. We're doing well. Nothing significant, and we pray it stays that way. The guys have been working hard, playing hard, and the important key is that is they're stretching well. They're taking their bodies very seriously and protecting their bodies. So far, so good.
All right. Well, as I sometimes confess when it gets to be about week 8, I don't know what else to ask you, but I guess I've got a couple of weeks to have an opportunity to come up with some new questions for head coach James Williams. Good luck tonight against Willow Ridge in your homecoming game, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
All right, that is VypeFortBend.com, and we're just a few minutes away from the opening kickoff, and our coverage is brought to you tonight by Xfinity, the future of awesome, by First Tire and Automotive, the Needville Insurance Agency, Nick's Italian Restaurant, Archer Volkswagen, and Office Depot, where they take care of business every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. By the way, tomorrow night, be with us as we'll have Travis against Clements, the once-beaten Clements Rangers playing against a Travis team that suddenly has a couple of district losses and is a little bit desperate. So we're going to have that for you on VypeFortBend.com. Volleyball every Tuesday night. Plus, we'll have at least 3 football games the rest of the regular season, and we'll follow the playoff road as far as our teams go. VypeFortBend.com. We'll be right back.
You are the master. We take care of you, so you can.
There you have it, the Star Spangled Banner, and the fans are going to settle in and get ready for the Marshall Buffs homecoming game as they take on the Willow Ridge Eagles, their crosstown rivals in Mo City. And we've got a different look for the Marshall Buffs. Now, typically when they play a home game, they've got the gold pants that look very much like the Steelers pants, actually more like LSU than the Steelers pants, except they have black and gold instead of purple and gold. But whereas the Buffs typically have the black jerseys and the gold helmets, well, they're all gold. Gold helmets, gold jerseys, gold pants, trimmed in black and white. So they look quite a bit different. Over there on the Willow Ridge side, they have the familiar silver helmets, the white jerseys with the royal blue letters and numerals, and the royal blue pants. And the captains from both teams are about to come out and let us know who's going to get the football first. For Marshall, they have a high-quality offensive line, and they send out Jerron Wallace, one of the tackles on the offensive line, as well as Anthony Chapman. And they're also going to be joined by, one of the fast guys, Mike Patterson, defensive back. And for Willow Ridge, their captains, Isaac Orellana, also Tulio Nunez, one of their running backs, and their quarterback, Blaze Covington. And by the way, our Nick's Italian Restaurant family connection is Blaze Covington, along with his dad, who is one of the assistants on the staff for Willow Ridge, Aaron Covington. Just remember that at Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. Their family gets bigger every time you stop by. Chris Jackson, our referee, is going to indicate to us who gets the football first. Of course, as some of you know, this is very ceremonial. It's done about 45 minutes to an hour prior to the actual kickoff, so they kind of make this look like something that it's not, because the players go out there already knowing who's going to get the football first. By the way, I didn't mention one of those Marshall captains, and that is A.J. Hulsey, outstanding defensive back for the Buffs. They have speed to burn, as always. So Chris Jackson will indicate that in a moment. I'm just kind of tap dancing here, but I can tell you that Willow Ridge has lost 11 straight matchups against the Marshall Buffs. It's 20 straight district wins for Marshall. They lost to Manville in 2019 during the regular season, but they avenged that loss in a big way in the playoffs as they knocked the Mavericks out, and the Buffs went to their second consecutive state championship game. Now we're going to see who gets the ball first. Will Mr. Jackson turn on his mic? Okay, so you heard the man. Willow Ridge gets to choose to begin the game, and they will receive, and they will move from left to right. That is, they will defend the north end zone here at Hall Stadium. Couple of other factoids. Marshall averaging 56.3 points per game, and it could be higher, except many of their games are shortened in the second half when the score gets so lopsided they don't want to humiliate anyone, and that's all agreed upon by coaches ahead of time. The Buffs average 394 yards per game. Their quarterback, Jacoby Banks, has 1,077 all-purpose yards. That's running and passing. He's responsible for 20 touchdowns, 11 of those on the ground, and 600 rush yards for Jacoby Banks, who is in his first year as QB1 for Marshall. Chris Marshall is his best receiver with 364 receiving yards, and he already has 9 touchdowns. To kick off this game, it is Andreas Phillips Purvis. He has it teed up in the middle of the field at the 40-yard line. We are ready to rock here at Hall Stadium. He's striding toward the football, and the ball is going to be one of those short kicks that comes down at about the 21, and Willow Ridge is going to return it, moving from the left side of the field to the right, and a return of about 8 yards, the 29-yard line. That ended up in the arms of Stephon Murray, and Willow Ridge will start. We'll see what they have in the game plan. It's tough just to stay on the field with Willow Ridge, and it has been for quite some time. In this recent years, these last several seasons, they have been to the state championship game in Class 5A Division II for 3 consecutive seasons, and they were upset by Crosby in the playoffs last year. So they want to get back, and here they are in their all-gold uniforms taking on Willow Ridge, and Blaze Covington in the spread formation hands it off up the middle, and he gives it off to Javen Chapman. He is the feature back for these Willow Ridge Eagles, and he keeps pushing the pile, and he gets 13 yards and a first down for the Willow Ridge Eagles. So what can you say about this Javen Chapman? He has an amazing record of running for touchdowns and yards. 9 touchdowns rushing already on the year. 13 yards and a first down. That's a first down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com. Chapman straight up the middle, not going to go anywhere this time. In fact, he's tackled for a loss of 1 as Reginald Willis stands him up straight, and help arrives soon. And it'll be second down and 11 for Willow Ridge from their 41-yard line. So this Marshall defense is just incredible as they give up only 8.9 points per game. Willow Ridge only gives up 16.8. That's very respectable. And when they're on defense, the Eagles are good at takeaways. They've got 15 already this year. Covington gives it off to Chapman. They run him left. He shows how quick he is, and he picks up 6 yards. And that got back the yard that he lost on the previous play. In fact, give him 8 yards on that carry, and it's just going to be third down and 4. I hesitated a moment ago. I was going to give you some information about just what kind of production Chapman has, and I had the wrong piece of paper on the table. Well, he's got 410 yards and 4 touchdowns in 5 games. He's got a yards per carry average of 6.21, and he's hoping to go to Southern University and play for the Jaguars. On 3rd and 4, Covington, play fake, throws it down the near sideline, and it's over the head of his intended receiver. A.J. Halsey of the Buffs was really closer to the football than Marquise Hayes was. And it's going to be 4th and 4, and Willow Ridge is sending out the punting unit. Something that we're following for you. The Ridgepoint girls are engaged in a very, very difficult and important volleyball match going on at Hobson Fieldhouse, just about 500 feet away. No, it's not even that far. It's more like 200 feet away from where I'm sitting right now at the top of Hall Stadium. On 4th and 4, might Willow Ridge try something crazy, maybe a little fake, maybe a little trickeration. It's a bounce back to the punter, and he gets it away. And it's going to work out just fine as the ball is scooped up at the 16-yard line by Marshall, and a flag comes in on the return by Rundrick Dudley. And I think this is going to come back. I think maybe it's some kind of illegal block in the back by the Marshall Buffs. So getting back to that volleyball match, if Ridgepoint can somehow defeat the George Ranch Longhorns, then they'll be in very good shape for a top seed going into the Class 6A Region 3 playoff bracket. I think they got Jason Prosper for an illegal block. So that'll back Marshall up to their own 15-yard line, and they have it with 9:46 to go in the first quarter. And Jacoby Banks has the keys to the offense. Junior quarterback sends a man in motion. That's Jaden Johnson. And he hands it off and up the middle. Great running room for Jai Adrian Wortham. And he carries it ahead for 17 yards all the way up the middle, going down the right hash mark to the 32-yard line. Marshall does like to play pretty fast. But you know something? I just noticed it's not Jacoby Banks playing quarterback. It's Jordan Davis. And he hands it off, and it's Wortham around the left side, gets to the edge, gets outside the numbers, and carries it ahead almost to the 50-yard line, where he's wrestled out of bounds, thrown out by Travis Willis. That's a second consecutive play with a first down for the Marshall Buffs. So it is Jordan Davis playing this game instead of Jacoby Banks, who is on the sidelines and in full pads just in case he's needed. Aaron McGowan carries on the Buffs' third play from scrimmage and gains 2 yards over the right side. He was tripped up in the middle by Olvera. And there are two pretty good players for Willow Ridge. Stephen Olvera wears number 50. Sometimes it's hard to tell who he is because he has such long hair, kind of like who was that guy for the Texas Longhorns a few years ago? His hair was so long sticking out of the back of his helmet, you couldn't really tell who he was, except he was the only player on the team with that much hair. Fake handoff. There goes Davis over the right side, up the middle, popping through and gets to the 39-yard line of Willow Ridge. They've run 4 plays and they've had 3 first downs. Yes, that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. No score between Marshall and Willow Ridge. The game is just now 4 minutes old. Snap to Davis, gives it to Wortham, starts left, goes straight up the middle, breaking tackles, running like a Texas tornado to the 32-yard line. That's a pickup of 8. And the Marshall Buffs band playing loud and playing strong. At halftime, we're going to have an interview with Rick LaFavors, whose Ridge Point Panthers defeated George Ranch last night in a big win for them. There goes McGowan off the right side, hands on the back of a blocker, breaking through at the 20, breaking still inside the 15, dragging tacklers inside the 5, keeps going to the 2. Wow, what an impressive run. Finally hauled down by Raymond Olvera. He and Steven are twins, brother to brother, fighting to try and keep the Marshall Buffs out of the end zone. This coming up the 7th play of the drive. Marshall going from right to left, and they have the ball on the left hash mark. They marked McGowan at the 3-yard line. Jordan Davis claps his hands together, gives it off on the jet sweep, and that's an easy touchdown for Marshall as Rundrick Dudley starts on the left side of the formation, and it looked like he was just going 3/4 speed. He slanted toward the goal line and went in untouched. 3-yard touchdown run by Rundrick Dudley. So that is an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive that goes 85 yards in 7 plays. Rundrick Dudley takes it in from 3 yards out, and it took up 2 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock. And the extra point is up, and it's good by Miguel Diaz. And with 6:47 to go in quarter number 1, the Marshall Buffs are leading Willow Ridge 7-0, and we'll be back with more on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Be with us tomorrow night for our coverage of Travis against Clements. The Clements Rangers having a dream season. They've only lost 1 football game, and they are in good shape for a playoff spot. Deep for Willow Ridge is Travis Willis. And it's Diaz ready to kick off. And he kicks another one of those pop-up jobs. Comes down at the 25-yard line. The ball is loose. Bug on the rug. Fight for it, and the Marshall Buffs have jumped on it. I believe some of the Buffs are pointing that they have the football, and indeed they do. And coming out from the bottom of the pile, Jacoby Chester grabbed the football. It was a fair catch called for by Willow Ridge, and I didn't see exactly which player it was over there, but I think he was just so anxious to run with the football that he didn't secure it, and it's going to be Buffs football. They'll have it at the 26-yard line of Willow Ridge. And they don't have to go very far here. We've got 6:42 to go in the first. And one of the things we've seen a lot from Marshall in the games that we've broadcasted, they seem to have multiple one-play scoring drives every single game. So Jordan Davis hands it off straight up the middle. McGowan bounces off a tackler in Olvera. Number 23 Olvera, that being Raymond, makes the tackle. That's a gain of 5. The all gold Marshall Buffs. No black jerseys. It's all gold from head to toe. Fake handoff to McGowan and a throw out into the left flat, and it's going to be an easy touchdown for Marshall. The delivery to Rundrick Dudley. Caught the ball out in space. Willow Ridge gave him a cushion, and he just took off and scored from, 21 yards out. That's right, so it's a 2-play, 26-yard Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive, and it only takes 27 seconds for the Marshall Buffs, and they cap it off with a 21-yard pass that goes to Rundrick Dudley out of the hand of the second-team quarterback who is starting this game tonight, that being Jordan Davis. And Miguel Diaz comes on to try and add the extra point. There is an injured Buffs player. It doesn't look too serious, and hopefully not. Demetrius Charles, one of their great offensive linemen, comes off, and he's replaced by Brian Harris, and he'll fill in on the place-kicking team to try and add the extra point. 6:15 to go, and Marshall is already on top, 14-0. Kick is up, kick is good. 14-0, Marshall on top. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is the 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
As we mentioned in the Countdown to Kickoff show, it's been a long time since Willow Ridge beat Marshall. 11 meetings ago was the last time the Eagles beat the Buffs. And in the nearer term, a little closer perspective, it's been a long time since the Willow Ridge Eagles have snapped the football because they muffed the last kickoff. And there is a return by Travis Willis. He's over between the sideline and the numbers on the far side, but he does not go very far. He's dropped at the 26-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will try again to sustain a drive and get some points on the board and make sure that they don't get too underwater here against the Marshall Buffs. Marquise Hayes has been a great two-way player. Not only their best receiver, but also 3 interceptions for Willow Ridge. Pistol formation, Covington at quarterback. Calls for the snap and gets rid of it quickly and gets the catch to Willis, and he is blown up, dropped in his tracks at the 30-yard line, hit high, and he was decleated. His shoulder hit the ground before his feet did, and the guy who blew him up was Adari Halsey, also known as AJ. Just a 4-yard pickup, and let me tell you something, Marquise Hayes paid for it. Correction, Travis Willis paid for it. Hayes wears number 6. Second down and 6 to go out of the spread. Covington gives it off to Chapman up the middle. Daylight and a first down. Gets across the 35, very near the 40, and that'll move the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Logan Granville got a face full of Chapman, but he did hang on, and he gets credit for the tackle at the 39. Chapman and Covington are the lone backfield mates for Willow Ridge. They continue trying to move from left to right. We're under 5 minutes to go in the first period. 14-0 Marshall. Covington gives it to Chapman straight ahead. Gets it across the 40 to the 41, but that's it. So just a couple of yards on that effort. So Willow Ridge will be one of our broadcast games in the final week of the season as they take on Galena Park. And there's a very good chance that that game could determine who is going to get the second seed in the Class 5A Division II playoffs. And Willow Ridge could really help themselves out if they are ahead of everyone else in the district except Marshall. Of course, they could still pull off the win here. They're down 14-0. Covington throwing to the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Too tall for Marquise Hayes. He was being guarded out there by Jacoby Strong-White. 3rd down and 8 coming for the Willow Ridge Eagles, who have won state championship to their credit. It was way back in 1982 when Thurman Thomas was their hero. And I believe 1982 is correct. But if I'm wrong by a year or two, I apologize. But you Willow Ridge folks, you know when you were state champions. 4:08 to go in the first, and Covington's going to throw on 3rd and 8. Stand strong, gets it away. And I was about to say it's a completion, but it's in and out of the hands of Nicholas Schock, and he was tackled immediately. It was Jordan Sample who came up and knocked him over, made him do a somersault, but he didn't catch the football anyway. So it's time for Willow Ridge to punt one more time. Rogelio Gonzalez will come on and punt it. This is the second time that he's punted in the game. And Rundrick Dudley, who's already got a touchdown in this game, is back to receive it. Little confusion as far as who should be on there on the punt returning team for Marshall. Caleb Cossey started to go out, came back, and now it's Jared Howard. Is Marshall going to rush this punt? And a whistle prior to the snap. Do we have, I don't see a flag, so I think we might have a timeout, and if we do, we'll take it with them. 4:05 to go in the first, 14-0, Marshall on top. We shall return. This is VypeFortBend.com.
You are the master of the mold. And we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
I'm not sure if referee Chris Jackson let us know who called that timeout, but according to the scoreboard, it was Willow Ridge. They wanted to make sure they had their punter protected here. Rogelio waiting for the snap. It's a good one, and he does get it away. It's a low line drive, kicks it away from Dudley, lands inside the 30 at the 28 and stops right there, and DeMarcus Benavides picks it up, and that puts an end to the drive for Willow Ridge, but they did get some good execution, and they did make a first down, improving their field position situation. And with 3:57 left in quarter number 1, Marshall takes it again. They set it up at the 29, and I see that it's still Jordan Davis out there playing quarterback for the Buffs, and we've got trips receivers on the left side of the formation and one guy who is all by himself on the other side. And there is a quick pass to Dudley, shakes a tackle, goes up the field, gets across the 35 to the 36. Tulio Nunez, great lateral movement to bring him down. And it's a pickup of 6 for the Buffs, make it 7. 2nd down and 3. Same formation with 3 receivers on the left side. Davis is going to hand it off up the middle. And that'll be a first down out to the 44-yard line as he put the ball in the belly of Jared Howard, the sophomore. You know, Xfinity is the future of awesome, and we believe Jared Howard has an awesome future for the Buffs, just a sophomore. They've got so much great talent. that he's going to have to wait his turn to get the Lions' share, or should I say the Buffalo's share of the carries. Davis drops back, throws it out in the flat, and it's incomplete. Too tall for Jaden Johnson. Some of you may be listening and thinking, well, why haven't we heard Chris Marshall's name? And it's probably the case that Chris Marshall just might be nursing an injury or something. I see him. He is in full pads, same as Jacoby Banks, but neither one of them playing tonight in this homecoming game against Willow Ridge. There's the snap and a give off the left side, and Willow Ridge defended that one pretty well. Jared Howard, because of his strength, was able to get 3, maybe 4 yards out of it, taking it to midfield for the Buffs. Raymond Olvera wrapped him up, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Buffs. You know, it was a gain of 3 after the incomplete pass on 1st down. 3 wide receivers to the right side now. Fake draw. And the quarterback's going to keep it, and he didn't get very far. He might have gotten a yard or 2, and I think it's 3rd and 5, and will we see Marshall punt? I think Jordan Davis meant to hand off the football that time, but his back didn't take it, and so he had to kind of start from a standing position. And not even the speedsters on the Buffs, if they're flat-footed, can get that quick of a start. Time to punt. And it's Andreas Phillips-Purvis standing at his own 35-yard line, ready to punt it away to Marquise Hayes. It's a high snap, and it goes over his head. Here come the Willow Ridge Eagles. He's going to turn around and try and punt it. He's just going to try and get away. And they tackle him at the 20. Big play for the Willow Ridge Eagles. A botched snap. It went way over the head of Phillips-Purvis. And chasing him down, Tulio Nunez. And that couldn't be better for the Willow Ridge Eagles other than a scoop and score. They are in the red zone just like that. 1:39 to go in quarter number 1. And the Eagles are already down by a score of 14-0. But they are in a position to get a touchdown and cut that lead in half. And we'll see how the Marshall defense responds. They love to get shutouts. 4-man front for the Buffs. Covington gives it off. Chapman running right, turns it up, gets 4 down to the 16-yard line. Good execution. Marshall defense reacting quickly. Lawrence Tillman, their great defensive tackle, who is leading the interior linemen in tackles. 2nd down and 6 for Willow Ridge. First quarter clock is down to 1:10 and ticking. Pistol formation. Covington takes the snap, looks over to his left, throws. He's got a catch inside the 10, still going. Touchdown, Willow Ridge. Nicholas Schock. He bounced off a tackler, turned around. I think he was expecting to get hit in the face, and he just kept on going because no one was there. And that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covers 20 yards. It only takes 2 plays, and it burns up 38 seconds on the scoreboard clock. And it culminates with a Covington pass to Nicholas Schock. And the extra point kick is up and good by Stefan Murray. Correction, Angel Aguilar. So, Willow Ridge does cut the lead in half. It is 14-7, and we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
That's the Willow Ridge Band, and everybody on the Willow Ridge side feeling pretty hopeful right now with 1:01 to go in this first quarter, and their team has just scored to make it 14-7. Marshall on top. Here comes the kickoff, and it is high. It's taken all the way at the goal line by Dudley, and he heads up the right hash mark, straight up the middle across the 20. Grabbed from behind, but shakes off a tackle. Flag comes in, he gets across the 30, shakes yet another tackle, keeps on going. Someone's got a hold of his foot, and he hands the ball off to a teammate. And it's going to be Marshall football. The question is where? The person that Dudley handed it off to, let's see. Getting up off the bottom there was Jacoby Strong-White. There were flags down, and one of them could have been for a horse collar tackle because, you know, Dudley was running straight up the field and going at a great clip, and somebody appeared to grab him, and all of a sudden his direction changed, but he kept going. And what do we hear from Chris Jackson? So face mask is the call. So that kickoff return was, I guess, about 32 yards of Dudley and 3 yards of Jacoby Strong-White, but add on the personal foul for grabbing the face mask. And with 42 7/10 seconds to go in the first quarter, Marshall has the ball on their own 49-yard line. Jordan Davis hands it off to McGowan, running right. Willow Ridge hitting him hard, but he just keeps on going and advances it inside the 45 of Willow Ridge to the 44. So that's a pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. For Marshall, Caleb Williams on the tackle. And Marshall is already lined up and ready to run something. Clock ticking down, 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Davis hands it off to McGowan, again running right, a little bit wider this time. Stumbles but keeps going, showing great balance. Gets inside the 40 to the 37, and that's where the quarter is going to end. We will step aside. VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County football. 14-7, Marshall leads Willow Ridge after one quarter. We'll be back.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or NeedvilleInsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
The wind is picking up as the second quarter begins, and Marshall gets the football to Jacoby Banks. So I guess Jacoby is starting quarter number 2. Jordan Davis started quarter number 1, and it's an 8-yard pickup for Marshall on the first play on which Banks appeared. By the way, coincidentally, I see Jacoby Banks is on the field taking the snaps for Marshall, and Chris Marshall, their stud receiver, is lined up on the left side of the formation. Adrian Wortham running left, turns up between the hash marks, hit hard by 2 Eagles, but he takes it to the 22-yard line, and that'll move the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. After an 8-yard carry by Adrian Wortham, one of the Eagles is down. We'll step aside, take a break, and be back. This is VypeFortBend.com. First minute of the second. It's Marshall 14 and Willow Ridge 7.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Back to action. Marshall running the football hard straight up the middle, and it looks like another 9-yard gain. Adrian Wortham has been the workhorse this evening, and he gets it inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down and 1. Jacoby Banks, who was not in there for the first quarter, is now out there for the second. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for him. He starts to roll to his left, throws it to Wortham. It's a backwards pass, and the ball is loose, and Wortham has to jump on it to make sure they don't lose the possession, and he goes all the way back to the 25 to fall on it. That's a loss of 19. Not what they had in mind, but, for fan interest, that means we're going to see Jacoby Banks throw the football, and if he's not successful in converting on throwing the football on 3rd and 13, then we might get an opportunity to see Miguel Diaz try to kick a field goal of 30-something yards. Third and 13 for the Buffs. Give to Wortham, headed left, cuts back to the middle, hit hard and thrown down, just a gain of 2, and that's it. Caleb Williams, Tulio Nunez, not fooled in the least for Willow Ridge. And these Eagles are playing great football thus far. And I think the Buffs are just going to go for it here on 4th and 11. If they tried a field goal, it would be a 40-yarder. So they're just going to try and convert. Kevon Misher is the widest receiver over here on the near side, and Chris Marshall is lined up on the hash marks. No one's really covering him. Banks drops back, plenty of time, pulls it down. He's going to run. 20-yard line, 15. He's got the first down inside the 10 and pushed out near the 8. It's going to be 1st and goal from right there. Wait a minute. Flag down in the wake of the play, way back near the line of scrimmage. And we'll see if this play stands. The officials are standing near the 20 and talking about it, shooing the players away. Chris Jackson, our referee. Well, the band is playing and sounding great, but a little too loud for us to hear Chris Jackson, but it's offensive holding against the Buffs. So now they'll try it again, and The holding call backs them all the way up to the 33. So it's going to be 4th and 21, and it'll be an empty backfield for Marshall. And I think the Buffs, well, I was going to say the Buffs are going to have a timeout, but one of the Eagles is down. Nobody really noticed him until a couple of seconds ago. The whistles blow, and with 8:33 to go, we'll be back. It's 14-7. Marshall on top, facing a 4th and 21.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Javen Chapman out there playing defense for the Eagles was the injured player. He got up and trotted off the field, so hopefully he'll be okay. Now it's a 5-receiver set for the Buffs and an empty backfield for Jacoby Banks. He's looking over to the left, but then back over to the right. Blitz look from WILLOWRIDGE. Here comes Olvera, looks out. Banks steps up, throws deep in the end zone over the head of his intended target. That was Chris Marshall. And so good job by the WILLOWRIDGE Eagles defense. You know, the Office Depot at Southwest Freeway and Williams Trace in Sugar Land takes care of business every single day, so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week on VypeFortBend.com. And the WILLOWRIDGE Eagles defense just took care of business, stopping that Marshall drive. And now they have the football at their own 33. $8:26 to go in the second quarter. And when we join you at halftime, we'll have an interview with Rick LaFavors, whose Ridge Point Panthers are looking as good in Class 6A as Marshall is in Class 5A Division II. And we'll also talk with Craig Way, the host of High School Scoreboard Live. First play, Covington asking for the snap, takes it, drops straight back. They protect him, throws far sideline. He's got a good arm. The ball is up in the air, and it's intercepted by Marshall. Mike Patterson gets the interception, and so WILLOWRIDGE does not have the football for very long. Marshall will have it at their own 35. 8:20 left in this second quarter. In addition to the Craig Way visit and the Rick LaFavors visit, we'll also bring you as many scores as we can from all around the greater Houston area. And now Jacoby Banks returns with the controls of the Marshall offense, and he's got two running backs at his side. One of them is Aaron McGowan. I think the other one is Jai Adrian Wortham. Takes the snap, and it's actually Jared Howard running left on the slant and gets to the sideline after picking up 7. Anthony Momon Lattimore wrestled him out. Second down and 3 for the Buffs. And before they snap it again, we'll be under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Wind starting to pick up here at Hall Stadium. And now they'll run the same play, this time going to the right, McGowan. And he's hardly touched, gets across the 40, still going into the middle of the field. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Aaron McGowan. And he goes in from 58 yards. So that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covers 65 yards. It's capped off by a 58-yard run by McGowan. and it took 38 seconds off the clock. 2 plays was all it took, and the Buffs expand their lead to 20-7. They are up by 2 scores once again, and Jordan Davis comes on to hold the football for Miguel Diaz. His kick is up and good. There were times when it seemed like every kicked extra point was an adventure for Marshall. I think they have that problem solved with the super sophomore, Miguel Diaz. It is 21-7, 7:42 to go before the half, and we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
Marshall 21 and Willow Ridge 7. 7:42 to go before the half. We're feeling a breeze up here on the upper concourse at Hall Stadium. It seems to be coming out of the south, but the flags at the north end of the stadium aren't moving at all. So it just depends on your altitude. Andreas Phillips Purvis to kick off for the Buffs in all gold uniforms, the pants, the jerseys, and the helmets. And it's Willis from the 18-yard line. Nice move to get across the 25 and a good effort to take it all the way to the 28. Be with us tomorrow night, 5:45, with a countdown to kickoff show, as we're going to bring you Travis against Clements. And who would have thunk it? The Clements Rangers have only lost 1 game this year. It was to Ridge Point. So they are solidly in second place in the district, and Travis, which still has some tough games to play, including the one against Ridge Point at the end of the year, already has 2 losses in District 26A, and Clements appears to be quite capable of defeating Travis. And if they do, Travis may be battling for their playoff life the rest of the way. There goes Chapman. He's okay. He goes off the right side and gains 2. Wrapping up his feet and yanking him down, Joshua Lair, a super sophomore. Xfinity is the future of awesome, and we think Joshua Lair has an awesome future for the Marshall Buffs, just a sophomore, getting plenty of playing time and making plenty of tackles. 2nd down and 8 for Willow Ridge, right in the middle of the field. They're at their own 30. Just over 7 minutes to go in the first half, and it's 21-7, Marshall on top. Covington gives to Chapman, hesitation move, turns it up, look at him go. Nice run of 11 yards, and he picks up a first down at the 42-yard line. That's a first down. Think of First Hiron Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsthironauto.com. In addition to the Rick LaFavor's interview and the Craig Way interview at halftime, we'll not only have scores, but we'll tell you how the big volleyball match came out between Ridge Point and George Ranch. They're as good as it gets in District 26A volleyball. Covington drops back, gets rid of it quickly off the hands of Chapman, who might have had a chance to run somewhere. Correction, it wasn't Chapman, it was Quentin Isles. No relation to Rizzoli and Isles. And I only know them by name. I know nothing about them. I've just heard of it because Stanley on The Office mentioned it one time, and he mentioned it in a way that I can't say because it would make this a PG-13 related broadcast. After the incomplete pass by Willow Ridge, they have a 2nd and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Covington drops back, gets rid of it. Kind of the same play, but it's incomplete. Travis Willis simply dropped the football. He might have been hearing some footsteps. And if he was, those were either the footsteps of Caleb Cossey or Joshua Lair. And it's 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. Willow Ridge got the ball to start the game because Marshall won the toss and deferred. So this game has been competitive. Willow Ridge has hung in there better than any team we've seen that has opposed Marshall during this 2021 season. But if Marshall gets the football back, scores to lead by 3 touchdowns, and gets the football to start the third quarter, we might see the competitive part of this game end. There's a quick release pass by Covington, who expected his receiver to run down the field. Nicholas Schock ran a comeback pattern, and he was throwing it deeper in toward the sideline, and so it falls harmlessly incomplete. And with 6:14 to go in the first half, it'll be time to punt for Willow Ridge. Rogelio Gonzalez will come on to punt it away to Rundrick Dudley. Willow Ridge took advantage of a bad punt snap by Marshall to score on a 20-yard drive. That's how they got their touchdown. Low snap, but Gonzalez has it, and he lifts a beauty. It's over the head of Dudley, and it goes all the way into the end zone. A 59-yard punt with no return, and on the punt touchback, it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So Marshall at their own 20 with 6:06 to go in the first half. We'll have another busy week of football coming up next week. 4 games, 1 Thursday night, 1 Friday night, and 2 games on Saturday. The first of those will come from Alvin's Freedom Field, which Fort Bend ISD is borrowing. That'll be the game between Ridgepoint and Elkins. Now it's Jordan Davis back out there for Marshall. First play of the drives, drops back, stands strong, looking for receivers, now runs it up the middle, hit high, and picks up 4 yards to the 24-yard line. And on the Willow Ridge tackle, Christian McCardell, sophomore. Marshall in no hurry. They would love to consume most, if not all, of the 5.5 or so minutes that remain in the second quarter. 3-man front for Willow Ridge. Davis with 2 running backs at his side. High snap, gives it to Wortham, running left. And some tackler has a fistful of his jersey and keeps him from getting away, although he does pick up about 3. Make it 4, and it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2 for the Buffs. And I believe the guy who had a hold of his jersey was Christian McCardell. 2 tackles on this possession. We're under 5 minutes to go. It's 21-7. Marshall over Willow Ridge. Fake to Wortham, and it's going to be a keeper, and it is Banks back in there, running across the 50. Still going outside the numbers. 30, 25, 2 men to beat. And he's wrestled down inside the 5-yard line. Great effort, not giving up on the play. Anthony Momon Lattimore and Travis Willis ran down Jacoby Banks at the 4-yard line. Well, so much for using up all the time to get down the field. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Buffs, going left to right. They have it on the right hash mark, and you have a winded Willow Ridge defense, some of them just now getting all the way down there to line up. And it's Banks in there taking the snaps. He has McGowan at his left side. Snap to Banks, and he's running it to the left, runs into defensive resistance, but what moves, gets inside the 5 and all the way into the end zone. Touchdown for Jacoby Banks. And some sloppy tackling on the part of the Willow Ridge Eagles. They really had an opportunity to bring him down, but he just wasn't going to let it happen. And that is an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive that goes 80 yards. It takes 4 plays. And it takes 2 minutes and 8 seconds. No, 2 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. And it leads to the Marshall touchdown that makes it 27-7 with Miguel Diaz coming on to try and add the extra point. His kick is good. Super consistent Miguel Diaz. He's been a great addition, and I think he's got the job as the place kicker for the Buffs. 28-7, 3:56 to go before halftime, and we'll be back.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
We have another Nick's Italian Restaurant family connection. That is Janai Williams, the daughter of James Williams, is one of some Marshall students who are on the track and field team running the big gold flags that spell out Buffs down the field every time Marshall scores a touchdown. So Janai Williams and her dad James are that Nick's Italian Restaurant family connection. Remember, Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. Their family gets bigger every time you stop by. Andreas Phillips Purvis to kick off for the Buffs. Gets it in the air, and it's going to come down at the 14-yard line. And here comes Travis Willis running to his right, trying to find some daylight. Gets outside the numbers on the far side and advances to the 28-yard line. So the halftime show has Craig Way of High School Scoreboard Live, a legendary figure in Texas football outside of players and coaches. He's a very, very important contributor. So he'll be our guest along with Rick LaFavors of Ridgepoint, whose team is in command of District 26A, just like the Marshall Buffs are in command of their district in Class 5A Division II. They mark the ball at the 29-yard line for Willow Ridge, trailing 28-7 with 3:48 to go in the half. And up the middle they go with Chapman, hard running, and he picks up 7. Lawrence Tillman following him down the field. Also in there, Correll Harris. 2nd down and 3. So one of the things that I'm going to try to do while we bring you all kinds of entertaining and informative stuff during halftime is to determine who's the king and who's the queen. This is homecoming for Marshall. Be with us tomorrow night, 5:45 p.m. Travis and Clements, big District 26A game. On 2nd and 3, Covington hands it off. There goes Chapman fighting and getting the first down. Battles across the 40 to the 42. In the backwash of the play and bringing him down, Lawrence Tillman. Willow Ridge fans, if this game does not go your way, all is certainly not lost, and there will be a couple of games in weeks 9 and 10 that, frankly, your team's not going to have any trouble winning. And then you get to the end of the season and you have Galena Park coming here to Hall Stadium. And that might be a battle for the 2nd seed in the district. 1st and 10 for Willow Ridge. Covington, play fake, throws far sideline, and it's incomplete. Impeccable coverage. Marquise Hayes was the intended receiver, and Mike Patterson, who already has an interception in this game, was hip to hip, elbow to elbow with him. And not as obvious as the usual throwaway where a quarterback will throw it to the sideline. The receiver and his defender kind of cut in toward the area between the hash marks, and Covington simply threw it out there where the numbers are, knowing that no one could get to it. And that stops the clock with 2:21 to go in the half. Ball at the 41, 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. 2 running backs alongside Covington, and there goes Chapman up the middle. Good running room across midfield and to the 46. Knocks A.J. Halsey back as he makes the tackle along with Correll Harris. 2 timeouts for Willow Ridge before halftime. And the clock will tick down. In fact, it now has ticked down under 2 minutes. Covington looking over at the sideline. Chapman standing on his right, now moves over to Covington's left. Fake to Chapman, throws it over near the sideline, and it's too tall, incomplete, intended for Travis Willis. Right there on top of him with the D, Joshua Lair. 2nd down and 10 with 1:41 to go before the half. The Buffs looking for their 21st straight win in district play. Manville, the last team to beat them, that was in 2019, but the game that mattered came in the playoffs, and the Buffs destroyed Manville on that occasion. Covington giving it off on the jet sweep, and this ain't going to work. It is a tackle for loss. The Buffs defense was absolutely all over it. Jordan Sample got there first to bring down Nicholas Schock, who caught the touchdown pass earlier for Willow Ridge. The clock keeps ticking. We're at 1:21 to go before the half, and they'll have a 3rd, and they'll need 16 to get the first down. We had some wind with us earlier in this 2nd quarter, and it has completely calmed. There's just nothing moving out there, nothing to give you the natural air conditioning when you got sweat all over you. 4 receivers on the right side of the pattern, 3 in a slot. Empty backfield for Covington, and now a whistle. Do we have a timeout? Well, the officials don't let us know that we have a timeout, but that's all right. We don't care. We'll be back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
That was a timeout called by Willow Ridge with 44.1 seconds to go in this first half, and the Eagles trailing Marshall 28-7. And they're facing a 3rd down, and I said 16 earlier, but now that I look at it, it's 3rd down and 15. But they'll come out in that same formation that they had before they called the timeout. 3 receivers on the right. Chapman is one of those. He's the one that's closest to where the football is. Covington looking over there. He does have 1 receiver on the left side of the formation, so let's not forget about him. Takes the snap, drops back, throws it far sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Should have been intercepted, but 2 Buffaloes were fighting each other for it. And one of them lost his helmet, and neither of them caught the ball. A.J. Halsey was one of them. Jacoby Strong-White was the other. Oh, well. Correction. It was Mike Patterson and Jacoby Strong-White who were over there battling for the football. That play took less than 6 seconds, so 38.6 to go, and Rundrick Dudley will go back to try and return the Rogelio Gonzalez punt. Willow Ridge will do everything they can to make sure Marshall doesn't block this punt. It's a good snap and a rugby-style punt by Gonzalez. And it's Dudley who tries to recover, to field it, and he drops it, and it's recovered by the Willow Ridge Eagles. A mistake by Marshall, and it'll be Willow Ridge football at the 24-yard line. Great recovery, DeMarcus Benavidez at the bottom of the pile. However, there is not a flag. Don't worry, Willow Ridge fans, you've got the football. But there is an injured Eagle on the field. We'll take a break and be back on VypeFortBend.com. Great opportunity coming up with 31 3/10 seconds to go.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or NeedvilleInsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
You are the master of the We mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
Jonathan Washington was the injured player for the Eagles. He made his way off the field, but favoring his left knee. 31.3 to go. Willow Ridge trying to take advantage of a muffed punt by Rundrick Dudley of the Buffs. They have the ball in the middle of the field, 23 yards away from the end zone. Covington gives it off to Chapman, trying the middle. Picks up 5. Correction. The person I actually saw who advanced 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage was one of his blockers. And he ended up gaining 2 on the play. The guy I was watching was Claude Williams, who was making a great effort to get his back down the field. And now a timeout taken by Willow Ridge with 20 seconds to go. And they'll have a 2nd down and 8 when we come back, and thereafter they're going to have to do clock management that does not involve timeouts. They might have to spike the football in order to make sure they at least get a field goal opportunity before we get to the halftime break. They trail it 28-7 to the Marshall Buffs. And don't forget, we'll have the Craig Way interview at halftime along with Rick LaFavors of Ridge Point, fresh off of his team's big win over George Ranch. And we'll also have as many scores as we can give you, and we'll wrap up that volleyball match between Ridge Point and George Ranch. Here we go. Covington on 2nd and 8. And a whistle prior to the snap, and I think Marshall must have called a timeout. We'll take 1, 2. We'll be back. VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Folks, I've made an executive decision of what we're going to do at halftime when they have the halftime ceremonies to crown the king and the queen for Marshall. Of course, that's something you want to put in a time capsule. Decades from now, people will be wanting to know what it sounded like when the king and the queen were crowned at Marshall Homecoming 2021. And so I'm going to try to get all of our other halftime features out of the way before it's time to announce who's the queen and who's the king. And a true football coach who is completely absorbed in the game, James Williams, the awesome head coach of the Buffs, he doesn't even know if any of his players is a king candidate. And that's just as well. By the way, B.J. Emanuel of Ridgepoint was the homecoming king for the Panthers. Just saying. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 8 for Willow Ridge. They have it at the 22-yard line of the Marshall Buffs. They're trailing 28-7 with 17 seconds to go in the half. Covington, their sophomore quarterback. And Chris Jackson, the referee, was trying to say something to us, but the wind was blowing so hard we really just could not understand what he said. The clock is messed up. It says 0 seconds. Maybe he said we're just going to keep time on the field for the rest of the half. Maybe that's what he said. Now they're readjusting the clock. It's at 24 seconds. Okay, so he told the clock operator how much time should be on the scoreboard clock. It is Marshall that called a timeout, I believe, before we started the play that they were all lined up for. Now the clock says 20 seconds, and okay, it is 2nd down and 8. Covington ready, takes the snap, drops back, they pressure him. Throws to the far corner, and the pass is incomplete. Triple coverage. The Marshall Buffs had it completely covered up. And it was Stephon Murray who was the intended receiver, and kind of a risky throw into a crowd. Clock is now down to 15 and a tenth seconds to go before halftime, and it's 3rd and 8 for Willow Ridge. And what Covington... Well, he doesn't absolutely have to throw a pass into the end zone or a pass incomplete. They could throw it over the middle. They would have to hustle down there and spike the football to have a chance to run one more play. But let's see what happens on 3rd and 8. Ball at the 22. Covington takes the snap, has time, throws to that far corner again, and the ball is up in the air and intercepted again. No, it is dropped by the Buffs. They almost had themselves an interception. And it squirted out of the hands of Jordan Sample. And so, I'm looking at who Willow Ridge has on the field. It looks like they're leaving the offense out there, and they'll go for it on 4th and long. Actually, they're going to kick it. They are going to kick it. Okay. Rogelio Gonzalez. Snap and hold good, but it is blocked. And it is going to be a pickup by Jacoby Chester at the 10-yard line. Coming to the near side, but wait a minute. Whistles have blown, and the Marshall Buffs coaches are wondering, why did the whistle blow? It was a clean block. Chester picked it up, and he's going to go all the way down to the south end zone. He's running there with the football, but the whistles have blown, so this is not going to count. But I don't blame the Buffs coaches for saying, why did you stop that? Chester picked it up clean at the 10. He headed to the right, and he had a chance to go all the way, and now the officials are talking about it. That was fourth down. What we do know for sure is that the Willow Ridge possession is over. We also know the scoreboard clock says 0.8 of a second. But it's just an inadvertent whistle, I believe. I don't think it can be anything else. But we'll stay here until we know the officials' final decision. Chris Jackson, I think he's going to come over and talk to head coach James Williams of Marshall first before he announces to the crowd what happened. Well, maybe he's not going to announce anything to the crowd. It was simply an inadvertent whistle, and Marshall's going to have to come out and snap it once. They're at their 30-yard line. Will they snap it and take a knee? Will they throw the ball down the field? We'll see. Willow Ridge is keeping 5 of its defensive backs a good 16 yards away from the line of scrimmage. You just want to keep everything in front of you here in case the Buffs do want to go the distance. 3 receivers on the left. Banks takes the snap, drops back, avoids a rusher, gets across the numbers on the near side, and he runs to the sideline, and that'll do it for the first half. Jacoby Banks pumping a fist as the Buffs go to the locker room with a lead of 28-7. This is VypeFortBend.com. We'll have our halftime show for you momentarily when we come back right after this.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Welcome back to Hall Stadium, where the Marshall Buffs lead 28-7 over Willow Ridge at halftime here on VypeFortBend.com. Well, last night we brought you the game between Hightower and Kempner, and it was all Hurricanes, as Hightower won that game by a score of 61-0. And right now they are in great shape in their district in Class 5A Division I going into next week's game against Katy Paetow. It's the Katy Paetow Panthers and the Hightower Hurricanes taking each other on at Katy's Road Stadium, and we'll have that broadcast for you on VypeFortBend.com. That is Thursday of next week. So that game between Kempner and Hightower started at 6 and it ended pretty quickly. So I was able to go over to Traylor Stadium, where Ridgepoint was taking on George Ranch. And Ridgepoint, when I walked into the stadium with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, was leading only by 23-14, and the Longhorns were driving. But the Ridgepoint defense came up with a couple of great plays as they got 2 blitzing sacks on the quarterback Cole Murphy of George Ranch. In fact, I think Murphy was injured on one of those plays, or maybe he threw an interception a few plays later and was pulled. But Ridgepoint, then the quarter turns over, and the Panthers start moving the football, and it was the B.J. Emanuel show starring Marvin Session. So he's Session is the best receiver for Ridge Point among several pretty good ones, and B.J. Emanuel threw him a beautiful pass that covered more than 30 yards deep into the corner of the end zone, and Session high point of the football, battled a defender, and came down, and the crowd went wild. A little bit later, Ridge Point's defense got the ball back for the Panthers, and B.J. Emanuel ran a little running play to the right, and you know, there are things that I just can't really sense when I'm up here at the top of a stadium looking at a game, and you get to go down on the sidelines and you realize how fast some of these really gifted players truly are. So B.J. Emanuel runs it in, and so let's see, let me do a little math here. That expanded the Ridge Point lead to 37-14. So George Ranch was pretty desperate, and they started moving the football, and they got into the red zone, and the Ridge Point defense came up with an incredible play as they had a 109-yard pick-six return, and that made it 44-14 final. It was Taylor Davis who picked it off for the Panthers after at least two other Ridge Point players touched the ball in a real battle for it in the back of the end zone. So it was kind of out of my view, but Davis grabbed the football and ran down the near sideline right in front of an insane Ridge Point bench, and into the end zone he went to make it 44-14. So Ridge Point doesn't have any district losses. They still have Travis to play. That game's not going to be easy, even though Travis does not have the usual team that we've expected from the Tigers. And also the Bush Broncos. They don't have as many dimensions as Ridge Point does, but if they can dictate the tempo of the game, if they can get the lead early and put their defense to work and be stingy with the football and run long drives where they don't necessarily score every time but just beat the other defense up, well, Bush has a chance to beat nearly anybody in the district. So when we come back, we will talk to Rick LaFavors, the Panthers head coach, who joined me after the game, and we'll be back with more on VypeFortBend.com. The halftime score, the Marshall Buffs 28 and the Willow Ridge Eagles 7.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Are you ready?
Ready for anything. For what life throws at you, at your kids.
Are they ready to study, research, write papers?
To do all the amazing things they don't even know they're capable of yet.
Internet Essentials from Comcast brings affordable, high-speed internet to your home for only $9.95 a month. Now available to low-income households eligible for public assistance programs like Medicaid, the National School Lunch Program, SNAP, housing assistance, and others. Visit InternetEssentials.com to apply. No credit check, contract, or installation fee. Taxes, extra restrictions apply.
Welcome back. It is halftime of the game between Marshall and Willow Ridge. And last night, Ridge Point was at George Ranch. It was a crucial game for the Panthers, and they won by a decisive 44-14. It's time to visit with Rick LaFavors. First of all, congratulations. What summed up your team winning pretty one-sidedly against a quality team?
A very quality team. Coach Cavallo and his staff do a tremendous job. I loved our effort. I mean, we gave up some plays, but we played hard last night and just and finished the game and just kind of kept punching and were able to kind of keep adding some scores and extend the lead.
So the picture for your team is, you still have a game against Travis. That will be a challenge, and it always is, and the game against Bush is not going to be easy at all. But what did last night's win do for you?
Well, one, it secured a playoff spot, I think, if my math's correct. We're 4-0 in district. So that's, since 2012, I believe that's every year that Ridge Point's played varsity. So that was the first goal. But like I told our team, when unfinished business, we need to prepare our butts off for Elkins next week and try and be 1-0 next week.
For quite a while, it was closer than it seemed. It was 23-14, but you capped it off and made it a 30-point win because you got a pick six. And that was really amazing.
Yeah, I think he intercepted on the 99.
I'm sorry, I blanked. Taylor Davis, pick 6.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, looking at film, he was on the end line, so it's probably a 109-yard return. But just again, they were driving down, and we made a great play, tip ball, and Taylor took it the distance, and it really, that was the kind of the nail that put it in there because they were punching, and at that point you still don't know onside kick and all that stuff. So just proud of our guys the way they finished.
Well, the fourth quarter was a great highlight reel. Marvin Session, a spectacular catch, and B.J. Emmanuel with a run where he just outran everybody around the corner. But I just want you to go talk to Robin Roberts, the cheerleader coach. 2 plays before the pick 6 by Taylor Davis, I predicted it. I said on 4th down it'll be a pick 6, and sure enough it was.
I need to go to Vegas with you, man. You and I need to go over to Lake Charles.
It would be my first time to go to Vegas. I've been to Lake Charles. Anyway, thank you for visiting with us. Thanks so much, and good luck next week. We're with Ridgepoint the rest of the way, every game you play.
Awesome. Love it. Appreciate it.
All right. VypeFortBend.com halftime continues. Last night it was Ridgepoint winning 44-14. over the George Ranch Longhorns, a crucial district game, and also pretty crucial district game, but one-sided. The Hightower Hurricanes, 61-0 winners in a game we broadcasted for you. They were over the Kempner Cougars. And we'll be right back with more at halftime on VypeFortBend.com.
Interested in Vype Campus? Vype Campus brings our popular citywide media days right to your doorstep. As a Vype Campus client, we will work with you to help you take advantage of our unique campus model to build a unique experience for your school. From media day photo shoots of all your athletes to game day coverage, broadcasts and live streams, video and digital content, hype videos, the Vype U program, same-day graphics, and of course your very own campus magazine, Vype Campus is truly whatever you want it to be. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out how to join Vype Campus today.
You are the master of the and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
Welcome back. It's halftime on VypeFortBend.com, and we always like to make sure that you stay with us during halftime, and we think you will this time for sure, because with us is Craig Way, who is so many things to so many people who love sports, especially University of Texas sports. But because we look at everything through the high school prism, I'm going to introduce you as the host of Football Friday Night. How about that?
Well, I appreciate that, Roger. Thanks very much. And I enjoy, obviously, calling all the state championship games and the Texas Football Days game for Bally Sports Southwest, the former Fox Sports Southwest, and doing High School Scoreboard Live. It's been a labor of love, and I've done it for over 20 years, and I've been broadcasting high school football. This is my 40th season doing it, so I'm excited about it.
And by the way, I know the name of the program. I just blanked because I'm talking to Craig Way. I had to take a deep breath before we started this interview. So let's talk about what the show has become. It has evolved into something where it has to win the award for that kind of show every year because there is no show like it. First of all, congratulations to you and everybody who's a part of it. It's an amazing program. But what are some things that maybe ordinary viewers wouldn't know about High School Scoreboard Live?
Well, you are correct, Roger, in that it has evolved. It's an outgrowth of a program that really started back in the 90s, just called High School Extra. And that show was actually an outgrowth of a radio show I used to do in Dallas when I worked at KRLD, and I did a high school scoreboard show on Friday nights from 11 to midnight, and we covered an area of about 150 miles because we had a radius, because we had a large signal, 50,000 watt signal, so a lot of folks were listening. So it was important. It was every bit as important for the folks in Pilot Point and Electra and Millsap to hear their scores as it was for Highland Park or Plano to hear their scores. So we took it all under wing, and we did it that way. And then a producer named Jeff Watts started High School Extra, and we did High School Extra, and that was a show where we traveled all across the state of Texas and had our band and did features and stories on high school student athletes and teams and coaches and things like that. And then in 1996, we started a scoreboard show called High School Extra Live, where it was really just what folks see today. It was in its infancy. We'd get footage from places across the state of Texas, and we would do final scores and recaps and things like that. Over time, it has really evolved, and especially with new and advanced and modern ways of transmitting video, to where we could get almost instantaneous highlights on the show. And the show has expanded. It's a 2-hour show now. It goes from 11 at night until 1 in the morning. And you'd be surprised at or maybe you wouldn't be, knowing how much folks love high school football in this state. If something is amiss or something is missing, we hear from them at 12:43 a.m. or something. Hey, what about the score from so-and-so? So we know there's a lot of folks watching. We have been fortunate. We have won multiple awards, Lone Star Emmy Awards and things like that. But the main thing is we know it's serving a purpose for high school football fans across the state of Texas, and we love what we do.
If you stepped away, I'm sure that as you came back, you recognized the voice. It's Craig Way, host of High School Scoreboard Live. And let's talk about how all those logistical challenges that you have, because Texas is so big, those needs were somewhat met by all these great new methods for transmitting video and doing Zooms and interviews with the coaches while he's on the bus on the way back. I love that stuff. But one thing that you do have to move something from point A to point B, and that is your reporters and their photographers. You go an incredible number of miles, and talk about how that is assigned and how you get that done.
Well, I think that the importance was recognized early to have reporters at key games, no matter the classification, across the state of Texas. So whereas we could have somebody at a North Shore Katy game on Friday night, because that's a big game, by the same token, we're going to have somebody at Richland Springs and Borden County for a 6-man game, because that's important, and you might have 2 unbeaten teams and all points in between. So we like to think that we do get it covered in all classifications from 6A down to 6-man. So as a staff, we look at it and say, what are some of the big games? And then those are identified, and which reporters get assigned to which ones. The ones that are more comfortable with, say, they know a lot about East Texas, and they might be over in there. Somebody handles the greater Austin area, or somebody out in West Texas that we're used to. So, but the reporters that we have are outstanding, and they go all over the state.
And you work them hard, because they will do a Thursday night game, and they'll do the Look Live report from that Thursday night game, and then they'll come back and do another one on Friday. And I was thinking, how does Katie Ingleson get from there to there? Well, it was a Thursday, Friday thing.
Yeah, and then during the postseason, Katie may hop back in the car and go, say, from Austin down to San Antonio, which is a short enough drive to go for a Saturday game. So we keep the reporters busy. They do a fabulous job. They do their homework. They visit with the coaches during the week. They'll have Zooms and visit with them. So they're up to speed. They're not just showing up and saying, hey, Team A beat Team B. They've done their homework. They're prepared, and they understand what's going into each game.
And Katie is every bit as nice as she is pretty. I can say that for sure. We'll come back real quickly and ask Craig one more question, and that is what it's like to be him during the football season, because it's not easy. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We're back at halftime on VypeFortBend.com with Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns and the host of High School Scoreboard Live. And Craig, you can't be at every single program because there are times when the Longhorns are playing too far away, maybe a Saturday daytime game. But what is it like? What are some of the big adventures you've had trying to get from one place to another?
Well, adventures is one way to describe it. I try, first of all, to minimize the risk. I've never missed a kickoff for a Texas game. The only game I've even missed in this is now 30 seasons in the broadcast booth for the Longhorns and 20 seasons of doing play-by-play on football. So I've only missed one game, and that was the day that I lost my wife when she passed away in 2016. But every other game I've made, and on Friday nights I'll do the Scoreboard Live show. I think last year we ended up doing 21 because of the state championship games that got pushed to January. So out of the 21 shows we did, I did 19 of them, and I only missed 2, and that was for a road trip like up to Kansas State, and then there was another one as well. So other than that, if it's anywhere in the state of Texas, I'm pretty comfortable about doing the show Friday night and then traveling on Saturday. You get out of the state, and especially if you have to make multiple plane changes, I don't want to run that risk. So occasionally I do have to miss.
All right. One more observation before we let you go. It's an honor to talk to you. You mentioned the passing of your wife. That was one of those times when we're here at the Texas High School Coaches Association. That's how I get a chance to talk to folks like you. And there's just a feeling of fraternity and sorority and family around here. And I know that even though they're great rivals who love nothing more than to beat Texas, I know they reached out in a very sentimental and loving way to help you and your family grieve.
Everybody's been great, and they were tremendous, and they were equally, like I said, I lost my wife 5 years ago, and then 2 years ago, you talk about being blessed, ran into an old friend I'd known for a long, long time, and she and I struck up a friendship and began dating there afterwards. And one of my late wife's last requests to me was, she said, "Do me a favor, don't die a lonely old man." And she her words are living on, and Linda and I have been together for the past couple of years now, and we're engaged, and it's but everybody who was as kind to me when Laurie passed away has been equally as excited about what the future will hold for Linda and myself. So we're excited about that, and it's great. I'll tell you what, Roger, like we said, it's great to have football back. It's great to have fans back in the stands full on. It's great to have our seasons back and everybody being able to act again. That's the exciting thing.
No question about it. And that last thing that you said just really, it touched me even more so than all those things that I heard on the radio and saw on television about people reaching out to you and just making sure that you felt comforted by the entire state of Texas. Craig Way, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Roger. Glad to be with you.
All right, we will have the third quarter for you shortly on VypeFortBend.com. Don't go away.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Okay, folks, they're announcing the homecoming queen candidates for Marshall High School Homecoming 2021. And after that, they'll announce the king and the queen. And by the way, one of the king candidates is Rundrick Dudley, who has already scored touchdowns tonight for the Buffs. So let's listen to the rest of the ceremony from Hall Stadium, Marshall Homecoming 2021.
Our next queen candidate is Jordan Johnson. Jordan is the daughter of Jasmine Johnson and Earl Freeman. She loves to make up and hang out with her friends and family. Jordan is being escorted tonight by her mom, Jasmine Johnson. Our next queen candidate is Vanessa O'Boy. Vanessa is the daughter of Lucky O'Boy and Emilia O'Boy. She is a track and field athlete both at Marshall and the CL Stars Track Club. Her awards and honors include NHSC Academic Excellence, Top 10%, All Age Award, and Early Admission recipient to UC Austin University. She enjoys dressing up, having a great time with her friends and family, and recreating TikTok.
All right, soon the announcement of the King and the Queen at Homecoming 2021 for Marshall High School. You'll hear a lot of squealing.
Our final queen candidate is Sierra Robichaud. Sierra is the daughter of Rachel Charles. She is a member of the yearbook staff and enjoys playing tennis, watching anime, playing video games, reading comics, and writing short stories. Sierra is being escorted by her mom, Rachel Charles, and her aunt, Rebecca Raftenrod. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Crowning the homecoming king tonight is Senior Principal Mr. Kyle. And crowning the homecoming queen tonight is Marshall High School Principal Dr. Sanders. And the 2020 homecoming queen, Ashton Cooper. Okay, your Marshall High School 2021 homecoming king is
Well, that fits right in with what we saw when Ridge Point had its homecoming as B.J. Emanuel, who also happens to wear number 3 on his jersey, just like Rundrick Dudley. And congratulations, Rundrick. And I guess you are living the dream, pal. You are scoring touchdowns for a team that might be good enough to win a state championship. They love you here in Missouri City. The Marshall Buffs are potential team of legend. Here we go. The Queen.
Your Marshall High School 2021 homecoming queen is Cameron Johnson.
Okay, so as you could tell, the cheers erupted when Cameron was crowned the homecoming queen. They were so loud, so enthusiastic that we didn't even get her last name. And there are 3 boys that I think are Marshall students over here to my left. I asked them if they knew the queen's last name, and well, they didn't. That's okay. We're going to take a commercial break, and maybe we can find out the last name of the queen. So Rundrick Dudley is the king. Rundrick and Cameron. Yeah, we already know that. We need to know Cameron's last name.
Now exit the field.
Okay, you may now exit the field. We'll exit for a commercial break, and we'll be back hopefully with the last name of the homecoming queen when we return. 28-7, Marshall leads Willow Ridge, and we're about to begin the second half.
Hey high schoolers, are you interested in a career in sports media? Vype can help. Launched in 2017, our Vype U Ambassador Program is a one-of-a-kind educational scholarship program that offers high school students a chance to gain hands-on experience in the sports media field. Vype U also gives students a platform to build their portfolio of creative work under the guidance of Vype's seasoned professionals. From covering games to publishing photos, writing articles, and conducting on-camera interviews, each Vype U ambassador receives an immersive experience geared toward their interests, while promoting their own school and preparing them for their future. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out more about Vype U today.
All right, so the Marshall Band is making its way off the field. We still don't know the last name of the Marshall homecoming queen. It's Cameron something. Okay, but we do have some scores for you. First of all, the George Ranch Longhorns fell for the second time this year in volleyball to Ridge Point. Ridge Point won the first game 28-26. It was a real nail-biter. And they won the second game 25-19. George Ranch came back to win game 3, 25-20, but then Ridge Point polished them off 25-15 over at Hobson Fieldhouse, which is a couple of hundred feet from where we are here high above the field at Hall Stadium. Meanwhile, Marshall is running back out into the field, and here are some football scores for you. Last night, Elkins finally got a win. It's been a nightmarish season for the Knights, but they beat Dulles, whose season has turned into a nightmare. It is Elkins 30, Dulles nothing, and that is action from last night. Let's see what else we got from last night. Of course, we already told you that Hightower beat Kempner 61-0, and Ridge Point beat George Ranch 44-14. So now scores from tonight. Katy Pato, which will face Hightower next Thursday, all over the Terry Rangers, 39-0 with 59 seconds left to go before halftime in that one. The Manville Mavericks at halftime are leading Foster 35-14. By the way, Hightower still has to play Foster after they play Pato. And how about this score? The Stephen F. Austin Bulldogs having a rough year, and they are leading the Bush Broncos in what would be an upset. The score is 3-2. Sounds like a baseball score. Austin Bulldogs 3, Bush Broncos 2 at halftime. And from other districts, the Tompkins Falcons lead Morton Ranch in the fourth quarter 47-0, and Galena Park 14, Waltrip 0. That is a halftime score. Okay, we had lined up for the third quarter kickoff, and the Marshall Buffs were going to go right to left and defend the south goal in the third quarter, but then all of a sudden everybody realized that Marshall actually is going to be going left to right and defending the north goal here at Hall Stadium. So they got that straightened out, and Willow Ridge has sent its kickoff unit onto the field, and it'll be Stefan Murray to kick it away. Correction, is Angel Aguilar. I've been messing that up all night. Sorry about that. And Willow Ridge has its front line of guys. They're just a yard from the 40-yard line where the football is. You couldn't do that in the NFL. There is a pop-up kick, and it's going to come down to the 32-yard line, and a nice return from the 32 to the 42. And who was that? Is that the homecoming king, Rundrick Dudley? Yes, it is. Rundrick Dudley. Living the dream. You know, if I get a chance to talk to him, I'll just say, do you realize how special everybody realizes or thinks that this night has been for you? Starring on the football field, you're the homecoming king. It's pretty awesome. All right, here we go with Jacoby Banks taking the snap, handing to Jai Adrian Wortham, and he's fighting and gets about 4 yards. Tulio Nunez wrestles him down, And there was someone else in there. Who was that? That was Caleb Williams. So 21 Williams and 22 Nunez. 2nd down and 6 for the Buffs, who I'm sure will be content to spend some clock. They've got the lead in this game 28-7. Spread formation. Banks takes the snap. And it's another inside handoff. Aaron McGowan hits the hole hard, but the hole closes up quickly. You got about 3 yards. Raymond Olvera and his hair making the tackle. The ball's at the 50-yard line where it's 3rd and 2 for the Buffs. Coming in as a receiver, number 14, Terrence Fontenot. He's wearing the number that Jacoby Banks wore last year, and now that Jacoby is QB1, he wears jersey number 1. Chris Marshall is in the slot on the near side on 3rd and 2. They send Marshall in motion, fake it to him on the jet sweep, and they give it to McGowan up the middle, big yardage across the 40 of Willow Ridge and down to the 38 where he's got a first down. That is a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Nathaniel Reams on the tackle for the Willow Ridge Eagles. We're just underway in the 3rd quarter, and guess what? We've got a Buff down. It's McGowan, but never fear, Buffs fans. I think it's just a cramp. He's getting to his feet, and he's kind of picked up his right foot. I think he's going to be all right. But Coach Williams is out there with him, and I think he's saying, maybe you ought to just stay down for a moment. We'll take a break and be back. 28-7, Marshall on top and driving here early in the 3rd.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Dudley needed help getting off the field, and now it is Banks throwing deep, looking for Marshall! Just a foot too long. He was open in the right corner of the end zone, and if you had any doubts about the arm strength of Jacoby Banks, well, that dispels those doubts. Just a second. All right, people are always coming up here asking me stuff. They say, are you the PA guy? No. Are you the scoreboard operator guy? No. And I missed a play because I was just trying to be a nice guy. So Marshall with a short gain on 2nd down, and it's 3rd and 5 for the Buffs. And I'm looking around, and I'll be very relieved if and when I see Aaron McGowan back on the field. And there is the give to Wortham, hit in the backfield. Jai Adrian Wortham dropped for a loss of 3. Caleb Williams wrapped him up and said, not so fast, my friend. So now it's going to be 4th and 8, and I think that the Buffs are going to go for it. Jared Howard comes out onto the field, and by the way, Aaron McGowan is seated on the bench, and a member of the training staff is checking after him, seeing how he's doing. By the way, I asked that kid who came up and asked if I was the scoreboard operator, and I asked him if he knew the homecoming queen's name. He gave a certain name, and he said, I'm pretty sure, but this is just very sensitive information. I can't go with pretty sure. Ask Tracy Morgan if you should go with pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, actually 100% sure, that the Buffs have called timeout with 8:44 to go in the 3rd. They lead 28-7. When we come back, they'll have a 4th and 8. We will return.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Okay, 4th and 8. Marshall leading 28-7 at the 36-yard line. Banks drops back, steps up in the pocket. He's hit. He's in trouble. He gets away a couple of times, but does not get away in the end. And he is dropped by Javen Chapman, the great running back, who's also a pretty good defensive player. And a great play by WILLOWRIDGE on the 3rd and 8. And Banks hit pretty hard. By the way, we will keep an eye on Aaron McGowan. It looks like he is up off the bench. I don't see him still seated on the bench. So hopefully he's just kind of walking it off. They may not need him to get back into the ball game. Okay, still not seeing McGowan, but I don't see him seated on the bench. I presume that's a good sign. Ball at the 45-yard line of WILLOWRIDGE. The Eagles have it, and it's a bad snap. Covington going back, trying to get it. It's going to be scooped up by the Buffs, and they have the football. Going into the backfield, it was Patterson. Mike Patterson, who already has an interception tonight, scoops up the bad snap. Covington couldn't really find the football after it was snapped over his head, and that instant of not really knowing where it was absolutely disastrous. So the ball is now at the 20-yard line. Patterson was not able to scoop it up and run it into the end zone. So we've got Jared Howard and Jai-Adrian Wortham as the setbacks. McGowan still on the bench. 1st and 10 from the 20. And there's a throw to Chris Marshall on the outside. Inside the numbers, outside the numbers. Shakes a tackle, goes into the end zone. And it's a touchdown. So that is an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive, and it goes 20 yards in one play, and it takes 6 seconds. And it's capped off by a 20-yard touchdown pass from Jacoby Banks to Chris Marshall. And that touchdown makes it 34-7. Jordan Davis to come on and hold for Miguel Diaz, who's been perfect on 4 points after touchdown. And now there is a flag prior to the snap there. I think it's actually offsides or encroachment on WILLOWRIDGE. So they'll move the ball to the 1.5-yard line, and it'll be simply a shorter extra point kick. Hey, you know what? I think coming up after this next commercial, I might actually be able to tell you the last name of Marshall's queen. And the kick is good. We'll be back. It is 35-7 Marshall.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Okay, folks. Well, I didn't bring you the kickoff because I was trying to figure out the name of the homecoming queen for Marshall. Her first name is Cameron. Her last name is unknown to us. But we do know Rundrick Dudley, who wears number 3 for the Buffs. He's the homecoming king. And the score is 35-7. Chris Marshall just caught a 20-yard touchdown pass from Jacoby Banks. And Willow Ridge brought the kickoff out to the 31-yard line, and they'll try again. Covington hands it off to Chapman, trying to get to the edge. Nice moves, hurdles a man, gets 3 yards. And against this Marshall defense, you can make some good moves and make a great effort and hurdle somebody, and you only get 3 yards. So Marshall comes in, and the average points that they allow per game is 8.9, and so far, after getting a turnover, the Eagles were able to score on a 20-yard drive in the first half, and there goes Chapman hard over left guard, and he picks up 3 more. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 to go. And we're passing the threshold of 7.5 minutes to go, and it looks like we have an Eagle down with cramps, and it might be Chapman. We'll step aside and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Roger Smith back with you on VypeFortBend.com, and the injured player for the Eagles, who has probably got a cramp, is not Javen Chapman. It's one of his blockers. You know, you can tell. I mean, the guy's built like a barrel, and that's not how Chapman is built. And, you know, as long as we have a little break in the action, I think I might try and pull up a few scores for you, because we've got an interesting game going on between the Austin Bulldogs and the Bush Broncos. And Bush definitely is a favorite in that game. They are in great shape for a playoff spot. But if they blow a game tonight against the Austin Bulldogs, then that will be a really tough break for them. But I see now that Bush has gained the lead with less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Bush has scored a touchdown to move ahead by a score of 10-3. And by the way, 10-3 was the score by which Bush beat Elkins in a game 2 weeks ago that we had for you on VypeFortBend.com. Looking down the list of anything that might be of interest to you. With 8:55 to go in the 3rd, Pato, ranked 9th in the state in Class 5A Division I, is beating up on Terry. It's 46-0. Still nothing to report beyond halftime. Manville leading Foster 35-14. And that's all I got right now. All right, the injured player is off the field. I didn't identify him. And here we go with a 3rd and 4 play for Willow Ridge, trailing 35-7. Covington fakes the handoff, gets rid of it quickly near the sideline. The pass is intercepted. A beautiful one-handed interception. A.J. Halsey. That is highlight material. That could be a Sports Center top 10 kind of play. A.J. Halsey high-pointing the football, not with 2 hands, but with 1. And it wowed the crowd. And that was one of those plays where everybody on the bench just incredible, they just almost fell out. And there's a guy up here on the upper concourse whose pants almost fell off. Oh, wait a minute, those might have been off before the play happened. And the catch is made at the 46-yard line of Willow Ridge. And now, Jacoby Banks steps in, rolling to his right, looking way down the field. And he finally lets go of it. He's putting it up, and it's a jump ball near the goal line, and it's tipped away. Nice play by Willow Ridge's Anthony Momon Lattimore. 2nd down and 10 for the Buffs. All right, I'm still checking out whether we see Aaron McGowan back on the field. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to see him back on the field. I'm just checking to see, is he in the bench area? Looking for jersey number 2 just to make sure he's walking around and okay. Have not located him just yet. And now Marshall snaps it, but there are whistles and flags. Might have a false start on the Buffs. We'll take a break and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Interested in Vype Campus? Vype Campus brings our popular citywide media days right to your doorstep. As a Vype Campus client, we will work with you to help you take advantage of our unique campus model to build a unique experience for your school. From media day photo shoots of all your athletes to game day coverage, broadcasts and live streams, video and digital content, hype videos, the Vype U program, same-day graphics, and of course your very own campus magazine, Vype Campus is truly whatever you want it to be. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out how to join Vype Campus today.
Okay, folks, because the score is kind of one-sided, it's 35-7 Marshall on top, and they just threw an incomplete deep pass as it was Jacoby Banks looking for Kavan Misher. The pass fell incomplete, so it's now 4th and 15, and one of the reasons it's 4th and 15 is Marshall had a false start penalty, and so now they're going to punt it away. It's a good snap. Ball is high in the air. Good hang time on this one. It's not the longest punt in the world, but Willow Ridge is not going to be able to return it. And now it's going to roll all the way down to the 14-yard line. So ends up being a 35-yard punt with no return. And okay, not going to take a break here. Just going to tell you that, you know how news agencies will project the outcome of elections? They'll say, we are calling it. We are projecting as the winner Joe Blow with 37% of the vote now counted. We project he will win the state of Utah, whatever. So I have asked, I've lost count now, maybe 5, 6, 7 kids that look like they attend Marshall and said, what is the homecoming queen's last name? Well, they are pretty sure that it is Cameron Johnson. Meanwhile, from the 14-yard line, out of the spread formation, handoff by the Eagles. And who do they give it to there? They give it to Chapman again. He's slow getting up, and he gained 1 yard. It'll make it 2nd down and 9. He's kind of in that frog stretch position as he slowly gets to his feet. And he's favoring his left leg, and the training staff comes out. So we know that Rundrick Dudley, of course, of Marshall is the homecoming king. And the homecoming queen, we're pretty sure is Cameron Johnson. I'd like to say hello to my good friend Tracy Morgan, who's listening tonight, and he's pretty sure that Marshall is going to win this game with a 35-7 lead, 6:04 to go in the third quarter. So while Chapman is being attended to by the training staff, let's see if we can get an update on that fascinating game between Austin and Bush. Still 10-3, that's the latest we have. Austin and Bush doing battle, and Bush is having a great season now that district play has started. You know, they had a rough time in their pre-district games. But now that they've gotten their act together and they're playing their brand of football, hard-hitting defense, they don't have any losses in district play. And they lead the Bulldogs of Austin going to the fourth quarter by a score of 10-3. There's a run to the right by Willow Ridge. Not much room for Tulio Nunez, who came in spelling Javen Chapman, and it's a loss of a yard, maybe two. And it's going to be third down, and yeah, it was a 2-yard loss. Third down and 11 for the Eagles, and they have yet another player down who apparently has a cramp. We'll step aside and be back. It's VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Okay, it was Nunez who left with a cramp, so Willow Ridge is in a world of hurt at running back. They have Nathaniel Reams out there with Covington, who drops back and gets rid of it near the sideline, and it's Halsey picking it off, and he goes in for a pick six. A.J. Halsey, that's the easiest pick six he'll ever have. He caught it near the 15-yard line, already had a steam. The ball was badly underthrown, and this game is officially out of hand, 41-7. The Buffs are on top, and Miguel Diaz is going to come out and try for his sixth consecutive successful extra point kick. He finds his holder, Jordan Davis. You know, there is a very special bond between the holder and the kicker. Well, homecoming is not going to be a dramatic affair other than the crowning of the king and the queen. We're pretty sure Cameron Johnson, we know her first name is Cameron, we think her last name is Johnson, is the queen of Marshall High School Homecoming 2021, as Diaz's kick is up and good. And we know that Rundrick Dudley, the football hero, is also the homecoming king. Well, Diaz's extra point goes through the uprights. It's 42-7. The Buffs on top. He'll step aside and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive is passing out the treats for your vehicles the entire month of October. $25 off select AC Delco batteries, $50 off brake pad replacement, and $75 off 4 tires. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. You don't even have to wear a costume to get these Halloween treats all month long. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointments today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
Okay, this is a really slow third quarter. We've still got 5:07 to go. Marshall's lead has grown to 42-7 after the A.J. Halsey pick six brought it in from the 15-yard line. Now here's the kick, and it's a beauty. And it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback as Marquise Hayes wisely just let it go over his head. It had enough impetus. By the way, that's a word that you will find in the NFL rule book, impetus. And it's kind of like the momentum of the football. You know, if it's traveling, you know, laterally fast enough where you know the ball's going to keep going, and it would have been in the end zone. There are some NFL rules with the word impetus in there. I-M-P-E-T-U-S. Look it up, literally. So the ball comes out to the 25 after that touchback. Willow Ridge trying to see if they can exceed the usual number of points that the Marshall defense typically allows. Covington still in there pitching at quarterback, and Chapman back in there. The cramps have subsided, thankfully, and he gets a 3-yard run up the middle. Coming up off the bottom of the pile, it is Jordan Sample. 4-yard pickup to make it 2nd down and 6. Willow Ridge moving from right to left in this third quarter. Chapman is in the backfield along with Travis Willis. Both potential playmakers here as Covington hands it off to Willis, running right. Turns it up near the 35-30. Hurdles a man, keeps going. Stiff arms a man across midfield, and oh, what a beautiful run. Travis Willis hauls the mail all the way to the 42-yard line of the Marshall Buffs. That's a 29-yard run for these Buffs. I'm sorry, for the Willow Ridge Eagles. Okay, more people coming up to me asking me stuff. All right, here we go. Covington from the 42-yard line on 1st and 10 gives it to a new running back, and making a nice move is Nathaniel Reams. He was knocked off his pins, but somehow maintained his balance and kept going, and then he was knocked hard into the Marshall bench, and an official is making sure he gets out of there, without anybody giving him the business. It was really a great job just to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and in fact, he picked up a yard. He was going to the left side, and that Buffs defense can really run great from sideline to sideline. Covington with the ball on the left hash mark faces a 2nd and 10. And he gives it up the middle to Reams. Reams tries the middle, and there's just a mass of muscle and bone and plastic and leather and tough football player. So it's only a gain of 2. Rene Urbina made the tackle for the Buffs on that play. And we've got less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the clock's still ticking. It'll be 3rd down and 9. No gain on that last play for the Eagles. Covington goes halfway from the huddle to the sideline, and he gets the play from his dad, who is the associate head coach. Correction, that title goes to Javid Milton. But Aaron Covington is one of the assistants on the Willow Ridge staff. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by Willow Ridge. We'll take it with them. It is 42-7. They'll have a 3rd down and 9 coming up when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
Become a Vype Insider today. Access breaking news in high school sports. Enjoy premium articles and exclusive coverage written by expert analysts, and watch exclusive videos, documentaries on programs in your area. It's only $2.99 a month if you subscribe for the monthly plan. If you go for the yearly plan, it rounds out to just $1.99 a month. It costs you only $24 a year to get all of your Vype news throughout the entire year. Subscribe today. What are you waiting for? It's less than a cup of coffee a month. Become a Vype Insider. $2.99 a month, $23.99 for the whole year. Hey, it's Vype. We will see you at the games.
All right, we'll see what they cooked up on the Willow Ridge sideline. They've got a 3rd down and 9. I'm sure this is 4-down territory for the Eagles. Reams and Willis in the backfield with Covington, who takes the spread formation snap, fakes to Willis, throws, and another pass is picked up by Halsey. And he's got it at the 50. He may have a chance to go again, and he does. 2 pick sixes for A.J. Halsey. He picked it off at his own 45, and he set sail down the sideline, and the only person with a chance to get him, and it was a very remote chance, was Covington. And for young Mr. Covington, well, it's one of those, mama said there'd be days like this. There'd be days like this, my mama said. So a 15-yard pick six on the previous Willow Ridge possession, and now a 55-yard pick six by A.J. Halsey. You know, when you have a night like that, maybe you should say to Rundrick Dudley, come on, you know, really, if you think about it, I should be the homecoming king. And Halsey is a senior, after all. So is Dudley. And there's some kind of delay here before Diaz attempts the extra point. He's 6 for 6 tonight. Meanwhile, the group of track and field athletes for Marshall, the ones that carry the flags, one of them being Janai Williams, head coach James Williams' daughter, is ready to do that. Now, there's so much drum beating going on that I can't hear what the referee, Chris Jackson, is saying. One of the Willow Ridge players goes off the field. All right, so here we go. We're going to snap the ball, and Diaz is going to try to make a 7th consecutive extra point kick. He does. It's 49-7, 2:09 to go in the third. We got a long way to go, but you're listening to VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
A lot of happy sounds, especially over here on the Marshall side, where their team is winning 49-7. And you have to take your hat off and salute the Willow Ridge defense. They've played pretty well. But they have allowed Marshall a couple of short field touchdowns, and there have been 2 pick sixes. So Marshall kicked off after that touchdown that made it 49-7, and they committed illegal procedure or something. I'm not sure what's going on here. I just know that Willow Ridge will have the football, and the officials are placing it at the Willow Ridge 45-yard line. So the ball went out of bounds. The Marshall guys they're walking way back toward about their own 30-yard line, and they don't realize that the line of scrimmage is the Willow Ridge 45. So now they realize it, and now they will line up across from the Eagles. I want to thank my fine producer, Les Clary. Les doing a great job for a game that is going long, very long, even though the outcome is sort of decided. And there is a handoff. It is Willis trying to get out of the backfield. Great effort. He is really determined. It's a 2-yard loss, but as Howard Cosell once described a Walter Payton run, a 2-yard loss it's rarely described as brilliant, but that was brilliant. And I'm going to say that Willis, with his determination, that was a brilliant 2-yard loss. However, there may be a penalty on the play. So it's actually a 3-yard loss, and no, there is not a penalty on the play, but Willis just, he was running that football like his life depended on it. So props to you, young man. And we'll see if Willow Ridge can get a good positive play here on 2nd and 13. Covington with 2 running backs in the backfield, gives it to Chapman, starts right, turns it straight up the middle, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 45, and it'll be 3rd and 10 from right there. Plugging up the hole in the middle for these Marshall Buffs. It was Rene Urbina. No relation to the former Major League pitcher Ugeth Urbina. To tell you the truth, I don't know that is a fact, but the odds, I doubt very seriously that Rene and Ugeth are in any way related. So on 3rd and 10, play clock now at 7, and Willow Ridge finally lining up. Play clock at 4. They better get it snapped, and they do. And they hand it off to Chapman, following his blockers, going straight ahead, but nowhere near what he needs for the first down. He did get half of it, a 5-yard gain up the middle to the 50, and that'll leave him with 4th and 5. And Chapman needing some assistance to get to his feet. And I think Willow Ridge is going to go for it. And it may be the final play of this 3rd quarter, but wait a minute. No, looks like they're going to punt. And they might even wait until the 3rd quarter expires before they punt. The clock is at 12 seconds. They have not yet assembled. They do have Rogelio Gonzalez and the punting unit on the field, but that's going to be that for the third quarter. 49-7 is our score. Willow Ridge trailing Marshall. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes on VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, you free for a sec? Got a little free time? Because Xfinity Flex, it's free too. It comes with Xfinity Internet. Flex is a 4K streaming box that puts all of your apps in one place. And Peacock Premium is included. Get tons of movies and shows. Free, on the house, thrown in, gratis, which is Latin for free. Or thank you, I can't remember. Point is, with Xfinity Flex, your entertainment starts at free. Can your internet do that? Am I free to leave?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box and get Peacock Premium included. And now through October 11th, get $100 back when you sign up online. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Subscription required to access streaming services.
You're just in time to hear me describe a punt return by Chris Marshall. If they give him a chance to catch the ball, he has to run to his right. It bounces near the goal line. He starts to grab it, but he watches it bounce into the end zone. I'm sure he's disappointed. You know, that was an opportunity right there for a 100-yard punt return had he grabbed the ball and done something with it, but I think he did what Coach James Williams would have wanted him to do. So the ball comes out to the 20-yard line for the Marshall Buffs with 11:52 to go, and they lead it by a score of 49-7. Because the competitive part of this game is over, or at least the part where you settle the issue as to who's going to win and who's going to lose, that's pretty much over. I'll bring you some scores that I think you might find interesting. And there goes the Buffs running the football again. I believe that is Jai Adrian Wortham. He's had a good night. Indeed, that is Jai Adrian. Carries it ahead, straight ahead for 10 yards. And one of the Willow Ridge tacklers in the wake of the play gets up slowly. And that was Raymond Olvera, whose hair is not nearly as long as his brother Steven, who wears number 50. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Banks takes the snap, flips it out there to Marshall, makes a move outside the numbers. 45-50 down the sideline. There he goes. What blazing speed! There goes Chris Marshall, and then takes a hard left turn and makes it a much longer run than it needed to be into the end zone from 70 yards away. And he grabs a guitar, a wooden guitar that was a prop for the halftime show, and he does some air guitar as he makes his way back to the bench. And Chris Marshall, you know, he's kind of a 70-yard playmaker kind of guy, and he takes it the distance. And Miguel Diaz comes on to add yet another extra point. This would be number 8 in a row if he can get it. Okay, so what can I tell you that I haven't already told you? Let's see here. How about the temperature? It's supposed to get colder tonight as Diaz's extra point is up and it's good. It's 79 degrees and the breeze is starting to pick up, but it's not going to affect the outcome of the game. It's 56-7, Marshall over Willow Ridge. Vype Fort Bend broadcasts of Fort Bend County High School sports are brought to you by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By First Tire and Automotive, make sure your vehicles are in shape for the fall. First Tire and Automotive has 4 great locations, including First Colony, Katy Cinco Ranch, Greatwood, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. So for the best prices on tires and all kinds of auto care, go to firsttireandauto.com. By Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. At Nick's Italian Restaurant, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By Archer Volkswagen on the southbound side of Highway 59, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. Open since 1956 and ready to serve you. You'll feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By the Needville Insurance Agency, Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. They will get you the best rate on your car and home insurance. I am a customer. They have saved me hundreds on our car insurance year after year, and you need someone who can do that for you because, folks, you know how expensive it is to insure teenage drivers, especially the boys. I'm not rapping on teenage boys. It's just a risk management thing. But they can get you the best rate. They may get you Progressive, they may get you some other carrier, but they will find the best rate for you on your car and home insurance. And I'm already a customer for car insurance, and I'm going to switch my home insurance over to whoever they suggest very soon. That's the Needville Insurance Agency. Call them at 979-793-7411 or visit needvilleinsurance.com. And Office Depot in Sugar Land, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace. They take care of business every day, so VypeFortBend.com can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. Willow Ridge returned the kickoff after that touchdown that made it 56-7 and got it out to the 29-yard line. And up the middle they go, zigging and zagging. Chapman still playing hard, and he picks up 10 yards on his first carry of that possession, and that gets us under 8 minutes to go in this ball game. Be with us tomorrow. It's a huge game for the Travis Tigers, a must-win game for the Travis Tigers against the Clements Rangers, and the Clements Rangers are the favorites in that game. They have to be. They've only lost one game this year, and that was to Ridge Point. They are on track for a playoff spot if they handle things in weeks 8, 9, 10, and 11. So they'll have that game tomorrow, and then 3 more games after that. So I guess Les Clary, my producer, is sending me a text and telling me to basically eat my heart out because he's in his RV or something, and it's 57 degrees where he is. I'll bet that feels pretty good. From the 40-yard line, Chapman sweeping to the right, gets to the edge, midfield, makes a move, a flag in the backwash of the play. He carries it to the 42, which would be a wonderful gain of 18 yards, but I have a feeling this one's coming back, and they're going to call number 62 for Willow Ridge. That's Isaac Orellana, and I think Isaac could very well be an attorney because he's making an argument. He's making an argument, but the judge is not siding with him or being convinced otherwise. That's a shame. Nice gain for Chapman. But they keep the clock running while they walk off the penalty yardage, and that's fine. So that takes him back to the 30. It wipes off the 10 yards that Chapman gained on the previous play. Covington runs over outside the numbers to talk to one of the assistants. It's the offensive coordinator for these Eagles, Javid Milton. We're under 6 minutes to go, and it's 56-7. Marshall on top. We have company up here on the upper concourse at Hall Stadium. On 1st and 20, give to Willis, starts left, hit hard, knocked backwards, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Jordan Sample making the tackle for loss, but I think he's going to share those honors with Logan Granville. So tomorrow night, it's Travis and Clements coming your way with the Countdown to Kickoff show at 5:45 from here at Hall Stadium. Then on Tuesday night, we've got volleyball, Fulshire, taking on Lamar Consolidated. And then next Thursday night, the biggest game of the year for the Hightower Hurricanes. They've won a lot of impressive victories already. They've beaten Manville, they've beaten Angleton, But they're going to take on the Katy Peyto Panthers at Rhodes Stadium in Katy. We will go on the road and bring it to you on VypeFortBend.com. And then another game on Friday and 2 more on Saturday. Chapman running right, totally reverses his field and gets a short gain across the 30 to the 31. And Covington, kind of a spectator on that play. I was thinking Chapman might say to him, why aren't you blocking for me? But it's going to be 3rd down and 20, I think, or thereabouts, give or take a yard. And we're under 4 minutes to go. This has had some real highlights for Marshall, but then again, nearly every game they play, you see some great highlights. You have A.J. Halsey with 2 pick sixes and an interception he made with one hand. So they had 3 interceptions during the game, and now there's some pre-snap movement. I think maybe Marshall jumped. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty for offsides, and that'll reduce the need on 3rd down to 14 yards to go for the Eagles. Clock still ticking. It'll get under 3.5 minutes before the Eagles snap it. Marshall on top 56-7. And they have already exceeded by a fraction of a point their usual average of 56.3. On 3rd and 14, it is Covington. Blaze hands it off, wrap around to Willis, and he cannot get away from a tackler in the open field, and he gets 5, maybe 6. And it was Ronald Beasley who brought him down. Ronald Beasley is a senior. There are quite a few seniors on this talented Marshall team that, just because of the abundance of talent, really don't get a chance to play very often. Rogelio Gonzalez comes on to punt it away. Willow Ridge does not want to go for it on 4th and 8. And the clock continues to tick. It'll be under 2.5 minutes to go before they get this punt snap. Play clock at 7. Gonzalez calls for it. Good snap. He gets it away, and Chris Marshall wants to return it. It bounces near the far sideline 3 times and goes out. So Marshall already has his 70-yard touchdown and also a 20-yard catch and run. So he has 2 touchdown catches. A.J. Halsey, who does not play offense, has 2 touchdowns that both came by the way of the pick 6, or the taint, the touchdown after interception. And we're under 2 minutes to go. They just let the clock tick, and that's fine. Be with us at 5:45 tomorrow. I'm just sorry we don't have a doubleheader tomorrow. Actually, I kind of need a break, so I don't really mind one game and one game only. So we're under 1.5 minutes to go, and we have somebody else. Do we have somebody else taking the snaps? I think it's Jordan Davis who started this game, and yes, he's in there, and he hands it off to Jared Howard quickly up the middle. Ball knocked out. Willow Ridge recovers at the 32-yard line of Marshall. Marquise Hayes jumps on it. And the Eagles have a chance to try and get something, but the clock is still ticking. I think the coaches agreed that they would go ahead and let the clock run, and we're under 1 minute to go. If the Eagles want to score, they need to hustle the offense back out there. Clock at 46. Okay, I think they might have time to run a couple of plays, maybe 3, depending on whether they use a timeout, and they do have 2. It would be great to get double-figure points against this great Marshall defense. Covington, will he wing it to the end zone on 1st and 10 from the 32, and we have a whistle. The clock keeps rolling. Timeout taken by the Eagles, and I think we're going to have Chris Jackson, our referee, tell the clock operator to adjust the time. He does say it is timeout Willow Ridge. The clock says 20 and 5/10 seconds to go. That may be all the time that we will play. remaining in this game, and it won't be hard to get out of the parking lot because the Marshall fans have enjoyed what they've seen, but they have seen enough. And they will head for the exits, many of them. But of course, there will be enough remaining in the stands, this homecoming crowd that will sing the Marshall School song before we call it a night. 56-7, and we'll see what Willow Ridge does in the final 20 and a half seconds. And that is a run hard over the right side for a pickup of 8 yards. Tulio Nunez took the direct snap, and the clock is under 10 seconds. They let it unravel, and that will do it for the Willow Ridge Eagles. Congratulations to the Marshall Buffs. Their undefeated season continues. They are 7-0. They have 3 games left, and they win this one by a score of 56-7. So it's a happy homecoming for the Marshall Buffs alumni. So for my good friend Les Clary, the crack producer, and everybody on the Vype team, we thank you so much for being with us. Our final score is the Buffs 56 and Marshall 7. And we will have Travis versus Clements for you tomorrow night at 5:45. VypeFortBend.com is your broadcast home for Fort Bend County sports. We'll let you listen to some of the happy sounds from Hall Stadium. And this is our goodbye. Roger Smith saying that I will join you along with Patrick Kinnick tomorrow night for Travis and Clements. Good night, and God bless every single one of you.